Phase 4 to reopen Massachusetts economy stipulates a coronavirus vaccine. And although COVID-19 vaccines are being developed at a record pace, Dr. Anthony Fauci says there is no guarantee that there will be a safer and reliable vaccine soon. So what does Phase 4 mean to a seasonal business such as Water Wizz?
It probably means never.
Patricia Kells, the owner of Water Wizz, an outdoor water park in Wareham, says Governor Charlie Baker's reopening plan doesn't make sense.
I don't know what his rationale is, and it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
Phase 4, nicknamed the new normal, is relegated for large capacity venues, businesses, entertainment, and culture events. Patricia doesn't feel like her business belongs under Phase 4, especially considering that businesses such as casinos and movie theaters have been granted a partial reopening under Phase 3. Public pools and splash pads were open in Phase 2 last month.
This is something like a splash pad with a few slides on it. All our pools, we have 6 pools here. 4 of the pools, the most people that can be in a pool at any given time due to normal safety operations is 2 to 3 people. The lazy river, we can space people out. We can let groups go at a time and then wait for a while and let another group go. So we can space them out there. And the wave pool would be no different than any public pool, which would limit the capacity. So none of it makes any sense at all. If somebody could explain to me and say, this is why you can't open. Don't tell me mass gatherings, because I can control the amount of people here. You can see the ticket booths over there. Only one person can be in that ticket booth at any given time. We can control all of that. If somebody can give me an explanation of why a water park is more dangerous than any of these other businesses that are open, then I could understand it. But nobody will give me that explanation.
To that, she adds that not only can she reopen safely, she has a plan in order that adheres to the guidelines from CDC, New England Entertainment Association, and World Water Park Association.
Now these cabanas, this is where they have curtains in season when we're open. They're all surrounded on all 4 sides by by curtains. And so people could be in their own cubicle with the curtains and be totally away from everybody else. And even where you see these picnic tables, normally are spaced apart, they're spaced more than 6 feet apart. So people that come, they'd be there, and then obviously we would put other picnic tables here and we'd space them out so they wouldn't be right on top of each other.
Now, have you presented these plans to the state? Have you showed them what your park, how it can handle crowds and your reopening vision?
Well, I've submitted it to my selectmen, and they have spoken apparently to the task force, but there's no way that I can personally contact the governor, the lieutenant governor, or anyone on the task force.
Massachusetts State Senator Marc Pacheco said he tried to advocate on behalf of businesses left under Phase 3, but the decision is outside his domain.
They indicated that they looked at it and they thought that the public health determination of it was not one that they would be willing to do in the phases that are right before us at this time.
When it comes to Water Wizz, according to the CDC guidelines, the disinfection of water with chlorine and bromine should inactivate the virus that causes COVID-19. People, however, are warned to limit close contact while in public. Water parks across New England and New Jersey have reopened, but Senator Pacheco says Massachusetts' reopening plan isn't predicated solely on CDC guidelines.
If they had gone only by CDC guidelines, a lot of Massachusetts would have been opened up a lot earlier, but they did not do that. They went by their own standards of public health, which for the most part is at a higher standard than CDC guidelines. And so, again, this is something that myself and Representative Gifford and all of us in the legislature would like to intercede and be helpful on, but we don't have any power in this area. This is in a state of emergency. The sole authority under these guidelines are the executive branch.
Massachusetts phase 3 comes as other states are seeing an uptick on coronavirus cases. The Washington Post reports 7 states in the South and West are reporting new highs for coronavirus hospitalizations. Texas and California on June 23rd eclipsed 5,000 new COVID-19 cases over just 24-hour span. So far, there have been more than 2.3 million reported COVID-19 cases and at least 119,000 reported deaths in the United States. Several states across the country are rolling back their reopening restrictions to mitigate the coronavirus spread.
That's what I think the governor's trying to do, is make sure he doesn't put the general public in a situation where, and businesses in a situation where they go forward and they're moving forward and doing things correctly, and then all of a sudden they find through contact tracing that they have a hotspot in an area where people are interfacing with each other in a close proximity way. And when that happens and this spreads, it impacts the entire state.
Do you feel as if your business was targeted?
I think they don't know how a water park runs and how it operates and how we could incorporate social distancing and wearing masks.
It is not that the businesses that are left out of phase 4 are just itching to reopen without merit. Given all the expenses but none of the revenue, not reopening is a formula for bankruptcy.
Even though I'm not open, I still have insurance that I have to pay, I still have taxes I have to pay, I have electrical that I have to pay. There's a lot behind the scenes of things that I still have to pay, and with no revenue coming in, it's really going to be challenging.
Relief for small local businesses may be on the way. On Monday, July 13th, the state Senate approved financial aid towards supporting small local businesses negatively impacted by the coronavirus as part of the $1.1 billion supplemental budget for COVID-19 response passed by the State House on June 27th.
So what is your take on the businesses that have been allowed to reopen so far?
Well, it's really too early to see. I mean, I am one that is very cautious about this issue. We're dealing with a virus that very few of us know a lot about, even those in the medical community are very concerned about. And I just think that being cautious here is the way to go. And Massachusetts has been cautious, and that's why our numbers are better in terms of infection rates.
How are the businesses that have allowed to open make sense?
Well, some of them do, some of them may not. We may find out that if again, with the reopening has just started to take place in Massachusetts. And so it will depend in large part relative to those businesses that have been given the reopening signal, if they're going to be reopening with all of the precautions put in place. Are they wearing masks? Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing in the restaurants? Are they keeping social distancing? If they do all the things that are recommended, then there may not be a major uptick in the COVID-19 cases.
Patricia and her husband Ray Kells started Water Wizz 35 years ago with just 5 slides. Today the water park spans for 8 acres, has 14 water slides, employs about 250 workers, and about 100,000 people visit Water Wizz in a season. The park is also a backdrop for not one, but 2 successful Hollywood films, The Way Back with Steve Carell and Grown Ups 2 starring Adam Sandler. Patricia says her business provides an essential service for mental health, especially to people who cannot afford expensive vacations on the Cape.
most of our customers are middle-class people. They can't afford to rent a place at the Cape for the summer or for a week. They can't go to a motel for a week or whatever. They don't have boats. So they come here. They're probably the people that are on the front line now, working in Target and Walmart and Stop and Shop or wherever they work. And this is where they come to have fun. And so this really limits what's available for those people to have.
Do you think you'll be able to open next season if you cannot open this season?
Well, if I can't open next summer, I couldn't. I mean, how can a business be closed for 2 years?
What has this pandemic and the way the state has been dealing with the mitigation of coronavirus, what has it taught you as a businesswoman?
It taught me that sometimes people make decisions based on no information. Did anybody call us up and ask us any type of information? No, they did not.
So given suffering from the revenue loss of this season, what is 2021 season going to look like? Are we going to see higher ticket prices?
No. No, I don't think I'd want to do that. I don't think I need to do that. Okay. I think I can keep the cost as is right now. But I don't know. You know, you project and think of what you would do, but then when the time comes, things may be totally different.